Welcome back. This is Daniel the Adjuster, and I'm so glad you're here for another episode. Now, today's episode is very special. It's 5 things that you don't want to do as an adjuster. What? How in the world could 5 things I can't do? Well, if you want to be successful, if you want to succeed as an adjuster, then you definitely don't want to do these 5 things. So stick around, and I'll tell you them all. All right, thank you so much for coming back, and thank you for tuning into my station. Hey, if you ever have any questions that you feel like are just not getting answered, then please head down to the comment section. Please leave me a note, and I'll be sure to address those questions as they come up. So, the number one thing that you're probably wanting to know is what's number one? And number one is don't be late for an adjustment. Wow, that's like killer. Could you imagine showing up late and us customers sitting there going, is your time more important than mine? Well, why are you late? It's so important for you to be right on time, if not just a few minutes early. What I typically do is I call them if I'm going to be late. I might even just shoot them a text message. Let them know, hey, I'm running a few minutes late. I plan on being right here at that time. One of those great items that has definitely got to be in your toolbox is a GPS that allows you to see the time that you will arrive. I have that sticker right there on that machine that tells me you're going to be there at 3 minutes till. So I know I'll be on time. I know I won't be late. I won't tick off the customer. You have to understand that the insured's time is important, just like yours. You're taking time out of them. Maybe they stayed home from work. Maybe they are on their way to an appointment and they want to make sure that they're there right on time and you're done. Don't hold them up. Get there right when you're supposed to and assure them that it'll only take a few minutes to do that inspection. I also help them to understand they have the freedom to leave a roof inspection. If I don't have any interior, or if I do have the interior to inspect, I do that super fast. Only takes about 5 minutes. And then I tell them, hey, if you've got somewhere to go, you're free to go. I'll do the outside inspection, get that done, and get it knocked out for you. Great, great option for an insured that's in a rush. Number 2, don't be rude. Could you imagine being rude to a customer? Yes, it happens all the time. We walk up on people, they're frustrated, they're upset with the damage that's in their home, they've got to get to work, they're late, whatever, you've inconvenienced them. People are rude. Your job is to not be rude back. Go over the top, be super nice. Hey, how you doing? I'm your adjuster. I'm so thankful that I was able to come over here and inspect this for you, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to meet with me. Now, can you show me exactly where the damage is? You schmooze it right there. I mean, I hate to use that word, but it really is. You're trying to gain favor with them when you come up to their house. I hate to say it, but prejudice is real, guys. We got a lot of people that have immediate prejudice against anyone who comes up. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. They immediately are not impressed with the insurance company. So that's the prejudice I'm talking about. So your job is to make sure that you're friendly and you come across in a very positive and helpful way. Now, the key line that I like to use is, I'm an independent adjuster. I'm not here to look out for the insurance company. I'm not here to look out after you. I'm neutral. And so you ease that customer a little bit right there at the beginning and let them know, I'm not here to judge either way. I'm just here to do a job and get it done right. If you emphasize that at the beginning, you'll find that your inspections, your interior inspections will go a lot better because the people are just understanding you have a job to do, and that whole tension of having the insurance company come into their house is now gone. Now, also be very careful not to condescend the customer or the insured when you talk about damage on an interior ceiling. So there are a lot of times where I will see damage that I'm questioning to myself, that looks like it's been there a while. In fact, it looks like it's been there a year. So what you want to do is you want to talk to them nicely and say, hey, when is the first time you first noticed that damage on the ceiling? That's my key line. That key line allows them to think carefully, the first time, when was that? Oh, that was 3 months ago. And boom, you've got your answer. You look at your date of loss, they told you the damage was 3 months ago. Now you can know whether you can associate that damage or discredit that damage to something that happened prior to the event or later. The reason why that's important, guys, is that if you have a hailstorm that happened 4 months ago and they're saying this damage happened a year ago, then you have to discredit that damage as happening with that event. It may be a separate claim. It may be a plumbing leak. It may be something else that's not related to the roof whatsoever. So that's why it's so important to kind of just downgrade your expectations of talking to the person. Don't be critical and say, no, that looks like it's a year old. I can't believe you're lying to me. Could you imagine saying that to a customer and the insured? No way. So just ask them nicely, hey, when was the first time that you saw that damage? They'll be sure to give you a good answer. Make sure you process that information that you're explaining to them carefully and precisely. You have to remember, this is the first time these people, most of the time, have gone through this process. So they're not familiar with it. Please don't be rude to them and thinking, oh, can't believe I've explained this 72 times and I keep having to say it again. No, really, it doesn't matter how many times you explain it to them. It's your job to explain it to them fully. And if they don't get it, guess whose problem is it? Mine! I'm not explaining it well enough. So make sure that you take the time, you slow down, you use words that they can understand, and then I think it will go a lot better for you. All right, so if you're finding something good here, please like and subscribe, and don't hesitate, guys, to follow my video. I've got great videos here. This one will teach you how to be an adjuster from start to finish. I've got another one here that also talks about how to learn Xactimate. That software that's so incredibly hard. You got to learn how to use it. I teach you how to use it. Follow it. You'll be thankful. Number 3, don't talk back to your firm manager. And you're like, well, why would I do that? Oh, plenty of times. Your firm manager may actually make a decision based on what the insurance company has called them about. Maybe there's a claim that they're not quite sure, the desk adjuster's not quite sure about the damages. They call their manager, the manager says, hey, we've got to call back the adjuster and have them go back out and take a second look. So the call you're going to receive is from your firm manager that says, I need you to do a reinspection. Oh my goodness, that's the worst sentence I've ever heard in my life. I hate it because you know those things are 30 to 40 minutes away and that they're not fitting into your schedule. So it's hard sometimes, guys, when they call and they say, please go out and re-inspect this property, for you to not be upset. Calm down, just say, okay, tell me a little bit about why I have to go back out, and then they'll tell you, and you know it's coming from the insurance company, it's not coming from that firm manager, so just do it. You'll find favor with your manager will then find favor with his insurance manager that he's talking with. They'll get more work, they'll remember that you were nice, and they'll give you more work. So it's all a full cycle, guys. Just remember that. Make sure you apologize if you've done something wrong. Your manager may call and say, I just don't see the damage that's on that roof. Are you sure you're seeing the damage that you're seeing? And then say, I'm pretty sure I did. I'm sorry that the photos are not that well, but I am absolutely sure the damage is there. Do you need me to take more photo? 99% of the time, they're gonna say, no, you don't have to go back out. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page and that we're not missing something. You're just over the top, guys. You're always trying to be your nicest person to that manager. It'll go a long way. And make sure you thank the manager for his time. He's taking his time to call you. But make sure at the end of the conversation, you say, hey man, thanks for calling me. This will make me a better adjuster. I really appreciate it. Number 4, don't argue with the desk adjuster. Okay, now this is a tough one, guys, because you remember, most adjusters get their start as a desk adjuster. And one of those things that I have found is a lot of these people have never been in houses. They've never been a contractor or anybody and they've never been a roofer. And so there's a lot of questions that are going on in their heads that they're learning this job for the first time. They probably are not very familiar with Xactimate as well. These are going to be issues that are going to come up a lot about the desk adjusters. Not every desk adjuster is unskilled, so please don't misunderstand. But the majority of them are people that have little to no experience in the field, and you want to be careful about judging them or making them feel uncomfortable about their knowledge. Now, the last thing you want to do is play kind of a know-it-all attitude and say, well, how many roofs have you been on? Because that's not going to go on very well either. So just explain to them, I know the photos are not really good, but I did see the damage. I'm absolutely sure the damage is there. I apologize that the photos are not there. You know how hard it is sometimes to get a good photo. Not to mention, I know that you get a smaller version of that photo uploaded to your website, and I'm looking at a much higher quality photo. The photo does definitely show the damage on my side. So as long as you explain it to them in a nice way, I think you'll find you'll get along with these desk adjusters a little better, and it won't be as stressful for you at that point. One of the things that did happen to me one time, I was kind of over the top, really nice, and kind of let my guard down a little bit. And unfortunately, I had a bad desk adjuster. The desk adjuster was actually trying to get me fired. They were trying to make it look like I said too much to the insured about coverage, when I didn't. I just explained to them about coverage. Coverage is something that will dictate whether something is covered or not. I learned something earlier in my career that I should not give more information to the insured than is necessary, especially when it comes to coverage. So what I wanted to stress to you guys is just be nice to the customer. Say, hey, if they start asking questions about, so what's the status? What do you think is going to happen? You just say, you know what? That's not my job. My job is the inspection, the report, and the documentation. I just send it into the desk adjuster. The desk adjuster will give you a call in about 7 to 10 days. You just take your hands completely off the responsibility of making the decision. You could tell them, hey, I did see some damage up there. I did see some damage on the downspouts and the gutters, so I'm just going to put that all in my report, and I'll let the desk adjuster give you a call in 7 to 10 days. I have had to repeat myself 4 or 5 times at times because the people are still trying to press me for information. Make sure you don't give them any information about coverage or what the status of the final product is. That'll burn you every time. So don't do it. Now, you're going to get calls from desk adjusters on pretty regular occasions. They may have need for a clarification, something that doesn't make sense to them about the report. Make sure you call them back as soon as possible. You're going to get a voicemail. What I have done is I've actually saved the insurance company's number, their 800 number, or the numbers that the people call me in on. I'll save them and put them under the carrier's name. So just every time you get a phone call from a Universal or a Progressive or State Farm or whatever it happens to be, you just save their number and put it under the State Farm contact. When that phone rings, it'll pop up State Farm or whatever, and you'll know that's a desk adjuster and I need to answer that call. So make sure you pick up the call, no matter if you're on a roof or whatever, and just make sure you're grabbing that call, because I know for a fact that when I go to call them back, guess what I get? Voicemail, like 99% of the other people who call them get. So you don't want to have to play phone tag 2 or 3 times to get them to call you back, so answer it. It might be a quick question. They'll say, hey, do you remember this when you were on? The little damage here, do you remember what you saw there? And then you just tell them, and then you can maybe solve the question right there while you're answering the phone. Great idea. Don't put them off. It never works out. All right, and number 5, don't spend all your money. You're like, what are you talking about? It's my money. No. No, spending your money means that there are times when work is really good in the summer. Summer is blasting busy, especially if you get a great hailstorm in your area. You're certainly going to be very busy and your checks are going to be huge. Live on a budget. Please live on a budget, guys, so that something that you can live on all year round, and put the excess away. Put it in investments, put it somewhere else, but don't spend it. Don't go on summer and say, man, I'm living the high life. Saturday, here we come. No, don't do that. Because what happens is you'll spend all your excess, and then right now, here we are in November 2021, okay, dead as a doornail, very, very slow, okay, and you're gonna need that money that you made in the summer to take you through the winter months. Things are just slow. The catastrophes are slow. We have no hurricanes in the horizon. Nothing's going on. The last thing you want to do is get to a point where you're like in dire shape, and then you're having to pull out those credit cards and load them up. No way. Stay away from those credit cards, guys. They cause you nothing but trouble. So, got something for you guys. I got a video. If you want to learn more, watch this video, this video, this video, all of my videos. 7 things to get you deployed. Guys, watch it. You will become the best adjuster around. Daniel the Adjuster saying goodbye. Thanks and see ya!